Just waiting on Giddy and Bills to come in. Whoever else wants to jump up there, the link is there. How are you, KO? How are you? You up there? Just waiting on the Bills and Giddy lad to come in. Just going to be talking about last week's protest. Saturday's protest. Sunday's protest. Whatever it was, Sunday. I'm all good. All good. I'm going to town tomorrow. I'm going to go live tomorrow. I'm going down to James Joyce house. That's where the homeless are staying. And one of the girls invited me down. One of the girls that went to Limerick with me. She invited me to the place to try highlight what's going on in there. What's the story?
Well. How are you? Well. Bloody.
We're just waiting on the Bills lad. What's the story, Robert? Yeah, I was just explaining I'm going to James Joyce house tomorrow to highlight what's going on in there.
Do you want me to come and interview people with you? Or are you going to do on your Tilly Todd? You're going on the Derek Mousey right page, though, aren't you?
Yeah, come in if you want, man. Go on and trigger it if you want.
Yeah, I think one is good enough. I don't think be point to doing that.
Ginty. What's that say there? Sub Ginty here. Comes trouble.
Giddy, I think he means.
Well, there is a Ginty in that. How are you doing it?
Davina in the house. How are you doing, Davina?
Just waiting on the Bills lad. If you can see the link.
Yeah.
I'll put it back out there for him.
You're right, Aaron.
How are you?
Howdy doody. Right, Mousy, I might just jump off here. If it happens, it happens. I'll come back in. I'm just going to try sharing this.
On TikTok?
On WhatsApp. Are you still there, yeah?
Yeah. Share it out there, yeah.
Right.
Don't bring all those lefties across.
Yeah, that's who I want, so we can give out and tell them off. You know,
I'm alive, that's half the battle.
I love it, you know, I love it.
Oh, she did mean Giddy, yeah. KO'd it. But there is a Ginty from Kulak. Just being.
Can you still hear me, Mousy?
Yeah.
I don't understand why it kicks it out of the fucking thing and it puts me in the comments, like, and I'm still talking to you. But
yeah,
now it's not giving me the option.
You might get kicked out in a second, I don't know.
Very frustrating, this bleeding. This is.
Share out the boots there as well. There he is, isn't it? Yeah. Tommy needs to put. Boots, you need to turn on your camera. I can't avoid you up into the box. There you go.
The camera?
No, it's grand now. It's grand now. Have you? Because it usually just says edit name, and then usually when you have the other option turned on, it says invite up. You can all hear you, Giddy. Yeah, we're all hearing you, Giddy, at your private conversation with yourself. I look the word lucid. It means rational, logical. basically with it. Well, who's lucid? Who said that? Is that me? Yeah, being rational, logical thinking. Or am I the opposite? Is he gone? Is he? I think he's sharing it out there, Boots, on his on his WhatsApp. Trying to get a few of the lefties in there to knock us down. You might be. No, definitely logical thinking here. So I was meant to go live today, Boots. Had bleeding walk for bleeding miles again. You know, they're doing drumming back. And the post a posty letter like now from his solicitor and all that kind of stuff. So I'm still trying to keep up to date with that shit. How's you, Robert? Is there another live on tonight? Is there another live on YouTube tonight? I looked it up because I was watching Aaron himself and so I bubble on his video.
Is Frankie here? Is he?
Frankie won't come in again because we won't talk about the Jews.
Ah.
I told Frankie I wanted
Well,
to
Frankie, you want to talk about Benjamin Nathan Yahoo?
From 1946.
Because it's crazy, right? The lefties call us Nazis. Then they support Nazis up in Ukraine. Then they say they're all for the Jews because of what happened to the 6 million of them. Then they're saying death to Israel.
But Frankie will put the question mark there. What happened to the 6 million Jews?
But he has got a point. He has got a point. They'd be still burning them today. There's no way they would have been able to do that many.
He'll be in now in a few minutes. Wait to see the name pop up. You get a sniff of that word, Jews. Or Jews has been out there somewhere on YouTube. Somebody's talking about Jews.
Well, but like, it is crazy though when you think of the way we're called Nazis, but the way the lefties do it, you know, like they support the Nazis up the north. They want the Jews down the Middle East done away with. Then, like, they're supporting the people who will literally wipe them off the earth. Like, their behaviour would not be tolerated in their society. Like, that's speakers. Like, they're taking advantage of speakers going out there.
All that LGBTQ, whatever you call it. None of them are invited along to all these protests.
Yeah, did you see the AI video? Bam Bam. Did you see it?
No.
It's not Bam Bam. It's just a Muslim woman. A girl goes over to Palestine, and she gets out with a hijab on, and it's a multicoloured hijab. And she's like, "Oh, I'm here to help Palestine." Next while the Muslim fella comes up, "Where is your husband?" And fucks a bucket of spit over her.
And then brings that to the actual. It brings that to the what you call it, a big festival or something like that, and she has to wear the jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the host.
JPS.
I'm about to send that out to quite a few people now. We're just hoping that they'll pop in and over.
From TikTok, I mean, all these people, like, now all the lefties get a sniff of this, will they?
I said it to Lefty Bread and all that. Lefty Bread. Yeah.
Because Lefty Bread knows we're on this platform, because he said it to me.
Yeah. I said that out to Cannon and Lefty Bread and DD and all them. Especially
He started jumping on saying, "No, Mousey's getting fucking 300 views on his videos." And I said, no, I'm getting fucking millions. He goes, "Millions? I've seen your channel." Yeah, Shannon's only getting 300 and something, he was saying. This is all on a live, he was saying this. And I just look at it, and I said to myself, don't even mention the Derek Mousey right Shannon, because he's just going to go in and get a band. So there's no point in even mentioning it. I just said, yeah, whatever. Just ignore the chat. It's easier. You just get your band. Lefty bread. Yeah.
That can's a fool. Yeah, sausage sweet. You know that, JPF? I'm being sarcastic. I wouldn't send them nothing.
What'd you say, Boots?
I said, did I just hear that Lefty Bread and all's on the way over onto this platform?
No,
we're definitely on this platform. Well, you definitely know we're on this platform because Lefty Bread said to me, he says, I'll see you down in he said to him, I'll see you down in Limerick or Cork.
Oh, I thought he said coming on to fucking talk.
And then he was down in Cork and he says, Mousey, you never came across me. How the fuck do I know what it even looks like?
Yeah. You were standing literally on the edge of the fucking Lefty protest passing by.
Yeah. He was one of those people. Anyway.
Yeah. No doubt the bloke. Do you know that?
Say again?
What's that?
No doubt Lefty Bread was the bloke in the skirt.
Yeah, I can picture him being like fucking what's that dog?
Well, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to picture him.
Grungus in the game too, getting dragged along by a fucking dog late.
Yeah, see that thing? He's down in Ennis. He's down in Ennis.
Oh, he is.
No, sorry. No, I'm talking about Million Dungeons. He's down. Yeah. Grungus, obviously, Amberley knows him somehow, some way, but she's not letting on to anybody that she does.
Grungus has the pirate hat on, definitely.
I think because they used to be on the lives when Amberley started up on it.
Yeah, Grungus is very tough behind the scenes.
Grungus is a fucking another butt pirate. He's the first one I think I called the butt pirate, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Geldof.
Yeah,
anybody who sounds like that, just Bob Geldof. That's what I call them, the Geldofs.
Well, I heard the whole plan now is to knock us off all the platforms, YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah, so Kieran, Paddy Brew, and I'm planning to kick all the people who want the fucking what you call it. That just got me eye. That did when JPF said that mad shit stabbers. Yeah, so they're gonna try getting us banned from everything, supposedly.
I feel privileged.
I do as well, because if they want to go around telling everybody that, people are going to come in listening to us more than, because we must be doing something right. Did you see on Chill, Muslim woman running a dude with a pipe? Oh yeah, I've seen that a few times, Robert.
Calling him unclean. We're the most sensitive country in the West.
Yeah, probably are.
Yeah, actually we are, yeah.
We're here on Sunday, Saturday.
It's always been this way. It's always been this way. Like, them parties like Fianna Fáil, Soldiers of Fortune, my bollocks. Like they literally
do you see what
shit.
See what Simon Harris done to Sinn Féin?
Yeah, I seen that in the doll, yeah.
Yeah, fucking they were on about Maurice McCabe and how you celebrated after they unalived that person, and he's at a party after it, and you can't say he's a nationalist. You can never say that you're nationalist of this country. And Simon Harris went out on them to bits. He's sick of hearing that voice.
So look at the Fianna Fáil was made up from fucking
Devil. What's the story, John?
Devil, jump up. Let everybody hear your voice. Come on, jump up, Devil.
What's happening, boys?
How is IP?
Not too bad. I just had to laugh there. It said Soldiers of Fortune. More arse bandits of the rainbow than Soldiers of Fortune, to be honest with you boys. You know what I mean?
No, that's what Fianna Fáil means in English, though. Told you the poetry.
Yeah, yeah. The Irish
Here,
band of the
Mousy, put out the
Devil here that actually come up with the name.
Mousy, put out the link there for Devlin. Oh, she's on her way to get her NCT. No worries. No panic. You not get your sidekick jump up while you're doing your NCT, or even do it while you're in there, while you're waiting on your card to be done.
I don't know, boys. I don't know.
You used to have a car.
Yeah, so what you call it? What's the story with the mad shit stabbing and all that?
The mad shit stabbers, all them lefties down in Cork that day. The bearded ladies, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you see the counter protest as Mick the Gay? He actually made a fucking absolute living shit of them. Yeah, he was up
Yeah.
behind it all when it was all happening, and they said now Paul Murphy put this out, and the
Yeah.
RTE News and mainstream, all the mainstream media put out. There was thousands of counter protesters there. There was about 300 of them, if that. Yeah,
I remember, yeah.
and now on the bridge, he filmed them from the back, and it was about not even. He was even being generous, giving them a quarter. There was about a third of the bridge full of them. Yeah, all there for the funding of the fucking government, and it just proves that the so-called what we're called far right, we're not far right, nationalist, whatever you want to call us, fucking concerned mothers and fathers, we are making a big, massive dent in the fucking government here, big time. We are having them on their knees. Garda now are saying that they're sick of the job because they're getting assaulted on a daily, and nobody has any respect for them, so they're leaving in their drones. So
Well, fucking
anybody,
too right. Let him leave. Fuck him.
well, I think like we could go in and fucking shut down every cop shop all across Ireland and take the state over.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, look,
Who's
I'd
in,
be one to
your
agree with you.
partner, Devlin? Your partner. Your sidekick is your partner. I prefer not to say his name on here in case you don't want to put his name on here.
But there was only a little gathering of them, like the local lunatics all gathered on the bridge that day. Yeah, it was just there weren't many of them at all. Like, there weren't many of them at all.
I've had it
It's
up to
just
me.
on Sunday. The one on Sunday you're talking about, was that?
The one just
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't that many of them. Compared to Cork, there was loads down Cork, wasn't it?
I think that's a weekly protest they do anyway. So like
Yeah.
it's an annual thing for them. Like you get me every weekend. Like
Yeah.
Cork is hardcore left, and anyway,
Yeah.
look that way. Yeah, it looks that way.
everybody in Cork has a bit of left in them. You love a bit of left.
Yeah. I don't mind. I know a good few from Cork. Like the good staunch fellas down in Cork as well. Like that don't agree with that. They don't agree with that. Like you know what I mean.
Always locked in your back room. Only let him out for protest. I'd say you do as well, Devlin. Say you got some serious handcuffs down there. Big fucking
Chains.
price. Yeah. Poor man. Getting picked on like that.
Yeah. Go on, so boys. You're going to jump on there. Mind yourselves, yeah.
Take care, JP.
Down,
See you there,
boys.
bro.
Nice talking to you, JP.
Hey, TJ.
You alright, TJ? What's the story?
He loves it. He loves the old handcuffs.
Yeah, I'd say he fucking does. Trying to rob my shit. I love putting people under the stairs. I do.
So when he's handcuffed to the bed there, what are you wearing? You're wearing the gimp mask, eh?
You're lucky she's gone for her fucking what do you call it? Her NCT. Jesus.
You see the smile on his
It
face and
was a
something.
gay left non-national who attacked the office. What? A gay left non-national that attacked the office in Cork. That must have been.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you
they
see
tried to push it off there with somebody right wing.
Happy Boy? Yeah,
Paul
yeah,
Murphy. Was there somebody Paul Murphy that off for the fucking? Your man said he'd Sharpie's throat. Got
fucking
brought the court and got let go on an apology.
Angelo gave our tips there, Mousy.
Oh, your man came into the live there last night. What's his name? Minces. Is that his name? Whatever his name is. But he was
Vincent.
looking, and your man turns around and goes, "Shut the fuck up, you Minces." Yeah, yeah. It's like, that's what he said.
Who said?
Minces
Who
just
said?
shut his mouth. I
Who
can't
said that?
remember who it was now. I can't remember who it was. Was it Mark or was it? No, that was the lads that did be up in the lives. It was one of them.
What
And
they
he
say
should
to
have
him? Just
changed it.
shut your mouth, like.
Yeah, yeah. You know, just
Can't say
steamer.
it on this.
Do you know what I mean? That's what he said to him straight out. Minces just shut his mouth. That was the first time I've ever heard somebody come out and saying that to somebody on the lawyer. You know, just straight flat out. I mean, shut you, you fucking.
Destiny. Yeah, Angelo, yeah, he gets the gimp mask. KO, get that scooters. Yes.
He's probably listening now, man, because you're the putting it out there, is it? So I might be listening in here.
Let them listen in. Let them listen. Let them listen. If they come
He's
in,
going to
just block them out.
know what
Mince
what his name is.
has a dirty turncoat on his own people. Simple as that.
He's
And
brought
even
from what Cannon is saying to him. You know, like the struggle that they did have in this country themselves. So Cannon sees that, and the other Morgans, I say it's one of simple days, fucking, plots. Get the people out, you go get them on the side. Like they'll fight for them if they get them there. Go like and pretend to stand with them. But like even though the Travellers done all the bleeding hard work over the years in trying to get their rights, and now these want to use the like get in on the backbone of the Travellers, like.
There's a question for you, lads. What was the numbers for Sunday? Everybody's saying different.
I'd
What do you
say
think
about
you're saying?
20,000. Say about 20,000.
Do you think it was less than the last time?
Yeah.
Definitely.
The last one was way bigger.
I'd say it was the same as Cork.
Yeah, they got about
Yeah,
10,000.
I'd say now about 20,000 that hit there, yeah.
Yeah, did any of you see fucking Iron Lungs on Saturday or Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
She
Sticking
was
our finger
standing
up
there.
at everybody.
She was standing there. Yeah, she said,
Yeah.
you see her,
Ashleen, is it?
you put that sign up, racist.
It's Ashleen, is it?
Yeah, Ashley, yeah.
Yeah, Iron Lungs. One day I was going to the fucking protest.
No, do you know the next time that we all go, yeah, we should all bring water pistols full of piss and just swear it at them.
Okay, then you'd be done for that.
No,
Yeah.
you have to prove it. You have to prove it, don't you?
Have to prove it. Yeah, it's about 50,000 coppers standing there looking at you. Who's gonna blame you? Something tells me they'll fucking know.
Well, they can't do you for having a water pistol.
Just test your DNA.
Fucking do you for being squaring people with feces.
I put me fucking me dog's pissing or something. Do all
Dog's
DNA
piss.
tests.
Yeah, that's highly contagious, like highly fucking infectious. If somebody was to have a wound or that and that got into it, like it fucking spread rapid in them.
Good. It's not like
Be an
they don't
idea and all right though, but like
well, if you think about it, it's better than fucking
Giddy be walking down now like instead of fucking like he's a little teapot and down a Cork, he walking down like the Terminator now with two big water pistols full of piss.
16th of August for the car protest again.
Super soaker.
When's the next one in Dublin?
I got one of them fucking things off Team. It's only no, it's a water pistol, but not automatic.
That's what I'm saying.
Very good.
Like, imagine filling that with piss. Bills, did you watch that documentary?
I'm still processing the fucking 74 pages that the valet. She sent me a yoke to watch. I have to go back and watch it.
I'm not condoning this, guys, but if you go to the protest, yeah, and maybe we're all peaceful, we do generally have a game of darts. So if you carry 2 or 3 darts in your pocket, when you come to the counter protest, that's your target in hand. Just chuck a few darts there and see who you can hit. Get a bonus for Paul Murphy's baldy head.
Yeah, if you hit Ashton, you get a treble 20.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Not condoning it now. I'm not saying go and do that. You know what I mean? But if everybody in the protest...
2025 now, where's all the people now with the bought drones and, you know, we need aerial support.
Yeah,
Like, where's
area
the
support.
shooter protester with you know, drones?
Yeah. You all right, Katrina? How are you? No, you know what he's been like. Mouse is
How are
on
you,
all
Katrina?
I'll
night.
give it a
Anyway.
watch tomorrow. I will definitely give it a watch.
Mouse is staying on until 12 o'clock, guys. He's doing a full shift. A is joining them later.
We'll be late tomorrow when anyway. In town.
That's right, yeah.
James Joyce house, yeah. You want to go in, Giddy? You're more than welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a shout. I'll talk to you anyway tomorrow.
What's the story?
We can't Pigny, we can't talk about the
How are you, Rebel?
CBD.
How are you, Tate?
How are you, Tate?
We don't talk about any of that on here. Sorry.
What was that?
The live will just get dropped straight away. The CBD, the live will get dropped straight away. We talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
You all right, Tate? How are you? Welcome to the jungle. Put out the thing there. If you want to join in to the link, please do. And the same with you, Katrina. If you want to join in, anybody wants to join in, come up and get bullied by all means.
Bullied by Boots.
Yeah, bullied by Boots. He doesn't shut up. He's very loud.
No, this is me calm place here. This is not like TikTok.
Yeah,
until somebody comes in from the left.
Yeah, but they haven't come in yet. They cleared out the hot in me throat every fucking Thursday when they're coming in. They never come in.
So, Tia, if you're there, the link down below, if you click on it, and just turn off your camera before you come in. That's all you have to do, simply. And come up and have a chat.
No, you didn't say anything bad. It's just we just can't talk about that up here because if anybody utters them words, the live will just get dropped.
Yeah, so we don't talk about that on here at all. That's all it is. We just don't entertain.
Suppression. It's suppression. It is. So, like, where was the most dangerous thing once? Is the one thing you can't speak about no more.
It's happened over 3 years ago, anyway. So it's nothing to do with now. Go away. Go away there. Yeah, grand, Giddy.
I'm getting up on TikTok. It's not that bad here, Katrina. It's more relaxed on YouTube. We can just have a chat.
Mousy does relaxed techniques on here as well. He does. Helps people.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't hide up in the corner.
Rebel saying you can't get in. See the link, Tia. Click on that link. See where it says Trigger Podcast in the chat there. Click on that link.
So click on that link and open up. If it says open up your camera and your mic, open both up. But as you're getting into the box, turn it off, your camera. Just that it won't let me accept you open into the box. You know, that turned on.
Anaphylactic shock. Anaphylactic shock. And I don't get that at all. Well, anaphylactic shock is only when you take something that it doesn't agree with your body and put you in shock and can obviously unalive you. And crotchet needles, I don't know what that even is.
Jono, have you got the bug now? Have you got the protest bug? See, Jono there, he's had to send up a new channel. So, anybody out there, give him a follow.
No, we don't talk about any of that. Unfortunately, we don't talk about... Who's behind that there, Mousy.
You met her down Cork, Davina.
Davina, we don't talk about any of that. None of that. Won't even mention it. Not even a incy little bit. Not go around it. Not talk about it.
Vaccines.
No, no. But what you can end up doing is getting fined for the office. So that'll cost you €10 for mentioning it on our live. So buy me a coffee, €10, please. Thank you.
It was a scam. We were duped. End of.
Yeah, we won't talk about it though.
I'm sure he's not fake count.
She's only checking.
That just reminds me of your man. Remember your man in town when we were on the live? He's like, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2,
Yeah.
testing, 1, 2. He wouldn't fucking stop. Jesus,
We
the
have-
head was
we have
going
that-
90.
Sleep out protest that's happening in July as well. Anybody got the dates for that?
Ego protest.
16th, is it? How you take?
How
Hi
is it?
guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Oh yeah. Oh guys, this is weird.
No, this is
Yeah,
deadly.
it's different.
So
It's
just
different.
to introduce Tia here, yeah, that's Rebel Resistance that you see in the comments. She's a traveller that comes up on TikTok. She puts out what's happening with the travelling community. For anybody who might have questions about it, please feel free to aim them all at Tia and put her under pressure, please. I'm only messing, Tia. It's not that bad. Just if you press where the comments are, you can read the comments as they're coming in.
What happened to you there?
Why she jump back out?
She must have knocked herself out. She can go back in again. Put the link back out again. That sometimes happens. No people, when they first get in,
Yeah, when you're getting used to it.
yeah, till they get used to it.
Lads, looking for coffee, Doc.
Since I
Since
joined, where is it?
Where is it? It's on the front page. We're only messing, Katrina. We're only messing about.
Yeah.
Tia, don't mind. Don't mind that fella. Excuse me. It's Boots' fault.
So there's
What the fuck
going to be
is
another
it?
protest. It was saying in the comments there, somebody said in the comments, another protest in August for Cork, and then another protest in Dublin next month. We think.
And
I
there's one in
heard next month.
There's one in Waterford as well.
Yeah, but how are you meant to get down there to Waterford?
So just to let everybody know, just had to put this out here because I'm going to help them a little bit here. For Waterford, if everybody can make a big effort to go to Waterford and protest in Waterford and make it a massive one, okay? Because it's a very, very bad lefty stronghold and it needs to be broken down. So if you know people that are into going to the protests, please do pass it out. Put it on your other platforms and let people know they need that help down there when it does happen.
What did they have literally the last time? About 20 people, didn't they? It's about 20 to there, about 200. They had about 200 to the side.
We're talking, Davina, we're talking about protests that has just happened recently. Time is war for one. I'll get the proper details of the lad that's running it, but I do know they're the guys. The guys who run it are the ones who painted that rock face over the Palestinian flag. Just to let you know. So I think they really do deserve that little bit of support. Davina, we're talking about the protests, but we can talk about you, Davina, if you like. That's no problem. It was very scary getting people coming up to me in the middle of Cork and going, "Are you Biddy?" And not knowing who anybody is. It's very difficult for me, that is. I went away with a
Can you
beating
guys
heart.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hear,
Yeah.
Guys,
happened
I'm
last
struggling with this.
Sometimes it kicks you off. I don't know. It's just the way it is. Sometimes it kicks people off.
Hi everyone.
How is
Yeah,
it?
Takes you a while to get used to it.
Yeah.
Looking for it since you said anything. Just let me know how to find it. Is that link on, Kitty, is it?
Yeah,
That
the
boy
link
me
is on the it's on the page, Katrina. But like I say, it's only there if people want to help or donate or whatever they want to do. Yeah, because without your donations, we couldn't do anything. And to go down to these protests, it does cost use. It does cost for the
Every
equipment that we use, and the software that we use for this. It has to be paid for per month. Do you know what I mean? So that's the reason, only reason why we ask for any help with anybody.
Are you sure what it cost for €85 to get down to Cork that time?
That's correct. Yeah.
So it's not cheap.
Are you doing direct action? Are you doing direct action? Don't talk about me, Giddy. I only you. Don't give me you a haymaker. A haymaker. Jesus, the size of you'd have to jump up, please, and give me a haymaker. And even if you could reach me, you'd probably not get me a haymaker. It was scary enough you sneaking up on me. Hello, Giddy.
No worries,
Frankie?
I think your comments coming into a private comment there, but yeah, there is a way of doing it. You can figure it out now in a few minutes, I'd say. How to see the comments.
Katrina saying hello to you there, to you.
Hi, Katrina. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get used to this.
Right, if you look up on the top, you'll see chat and comments. Hold on, let me make sure this is right.
I think it's
So-
in more, is it? It's in more.
No, on the bottom. Sorry.
Click on more.
Yeah.
More, yeah.
And then press comments.
I'm in the comments, yeah.
Yeah, and then we can't reply in the comments, but you can read what's coming in, and then you can reply to anybody's questions that have been asked and that about what you.
Can you not reply, Giddy? No, you can't reply. I can reply here if I want.
Yeah,
All
because you're
right,
the.
guys, someone's asking me questions. Hi, Katrina. How are you doing, hon? And KO, how does the traveling community feel about the mass migration in the country? Well, from what I can gather, a lot of them are not for it. But unfortunately, we do have a small group that are for it. So, yeah.
So just bear in mind now, to right, you've at the current time now, you've got 22,000 people listening to you.
Grand, that's okay. But anyway, not all travelers are going to be for us, and some are. Unfortunately, it's the same way in your community as what we're seeing now. I think a lot of NGOs like Pavy Point and all are responsible for all this, with bringing the travelers on side with them to facilitate the mass migration in the country.
I think it's diluting. Do you not think? I think they're trying to dilute the traveling community.
It's to do with the race. Yeah, it's all to do with diluting the white race anyway. Like even with the Irish people, you know.
But what they're doing with the travellers now, and this is what I see apparently with the migrants, they try to be you first here. Cannon did. Remember when he was trying to get you to fly with them?
There was a guy, a Jamaican guy, who's running around our country who is threatening Irish people literally on a daily basis. Cannon, his name is. Most of you might know him, some of you won't, but the guy is lethal, and this guy tried to get me to go on side with him so that I could bring in the travelling community to go against all the Irish people in the country. And obviously, like, not because we're all Irish, like, you can't do that. But anyway, he didn't like that. He did not like that. And for nearly 2 years on TikTok, Cannon decided to come after me for it. But it didn't work. None of it worked what he tried, because I'm still where I am. Like, nothing's ever going to change. But
yeah, that's true. But you can even notice now where they're trying to get other travellers now. That's what I was saying. You were the first one that they tried that with.
That's through NGOs. There's a lot of NGOs from Pavy Point getting involved.
And sorry, guys, another note here as well. Tia here, that if you want to follow her again, she's on X. She has her own. Do you want to explain it to you? Actually, you're on X, and just explain. People can come in and listen and talk on your X page. Are you there, Tia?
Anyway, guys, what I'm saying to you is there's a lot of NGOs going around that are like, some of them are pretending to be travellers and they're not. And these NGOs are facilitating the criminals in the country. Now, I've been trying to explain to travelling people that, you know, one of our own has been attacked. A young girl named Mary Ward was killed by a Somalian inside of Ireland. And it's like, it's not just the Irish people they're going for us as well. And it unfortunately, the ones from Pavy Point have completely brainwashed some of the travellers into a total different belief of what it's supposed to represent and be. They brought in Romanian gypsies into it. You had Roderick O'Gorman come out and put us under the same category of these people. We are nothing like them. We have no blood connection to Romanian gypsies. We're Irish travellers. Again, it's all done to keep the division going in the country, because they wouldn't want to see Irish people and travellers come together, because if they did, they were finished in that Dáil. And that's what they're afraid of. So my advice
KO
would
just
be,
replied to you that Mary was such a beautiful girl.
yeah, 1 sec now, guys. Sorry, I'll check the comments. Yeah, Mary was a lovely girl. Yeah, unfortunately, the poor girl lost her life through one of these coming into our country with no documentation. Probably done it in his own country. We don't know. We'll never know that. But anyway, my advice would be for travellers to be going along like and getting in with the Irish people before there's a high rate of murder in the travelling community. There's already a high rate of murder in the travelling community with the vaccinations. They gave the travellers Johnson's.
We don't talk about that
Yeah.
on here.
Just so that we can't talk about
Not
because it
speak
just
about
gets
that
us
up
banned.
here.
Yeah, we
We don't
can't
talk.
now.
Yeah, we
Oh, wait,
can't,
guys.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
I get you taken down.
Serious.
we
Yeah.
always
All
get you
right,
taken
sorry,
down.
I
Yeah,
didn't know. As I said, I'm getting
No,
used
it's all
to the
right.
thing.
We know you didn't know, so it doesn't like. We're just
Yeah.
trying to put a clamp down on it that people don't talk about it. We understand that people are trying to, but we don't want to talk about it because we don't want to jeopardize this. What we're
Okay, no
doing here on
problem.
the
I won't mention
podcast.
that. But
But
anyway,
you,
guys, everybody just needs to be aware that Pavy Point is also liable for bringing in these criminals into the country. They're not for the travellers. The movement was
they only
supposed
care
to be
about the
for
funding
travellers.
tier. That's the reason why they're doing it. The government are funding
Yeah,
Pavy Point. So if they don't do as the government says, well, basically they won't get the funding.
of course.
And that's
It's
exactly
just
what
an
they're.
NGO. It's just an NGO movement to cause divide. Like, I would give anything for the funding to be pulled from it and completely shut it down, because before we had Pavy Point, we had ankles and stuff where, you know, the women and stuff would go in and they would learn how to, you know, do things, and there was some reading and writing involved and stuff like that. They were called ankles, and I don't know what happened that Pavy Point managed to pull the funding for the ankles in the country. They pulled the funding for the ankles and they created Pavy Point out of it. And Pavy Point has done nothing for any travellers whatsoever.
Sorry to cut
Just like
across
your
you again.
one.
KO just said there, so sad. She's not getting the attention that she deserves, Mary. I think she's been the same way that Natasha got all the attention. That is very true. Why hasn't Mary got that attention and bring up in the papers and put all across social media? Where's all the attention for that girl losing her life? I'm always wondering about that now as well. Like, Natasha got a slap of an ex-soldier or a serving soldier where he was dismissed and he was, I think, very harshly dealt with. Yeah. And he didn't unalive or hurt anybody really bad. And she is a bit of a gob, so I think she deserved everything she got. And anyway, to be fair, some people might not
Yeah,
like
but
that.
what happened to him happened out of diversity. That happened in the name of diversity. There was no justice actually there.
Yeah, but this
Steve
girl,
on again,
Mary,
is it?
she lost her.
Got kicked
This
out again.
girl,
Is he?
this girl Mary lost her life due to some foreign guy coming into the country and taking her life. But yet, it's not being like the attention span hasn't been put on Mary for her. And there's another thing as well. You know, this guy that done that to the children. 2 years later, he's only going into court. What is the deal with this, guys?
And all the
Is the
lads who was
people
out
not
for the
beyond that?
protest, they got locked up fucking, like Michelle Keane. What she said, he locked her up for fucking Christmas.
Did you see he went over to our house the other day? 2 people drove
Yeah,
into our garden.
who was that went
I
in?
don't know who that was. That's the type show. I don't know who it is.
Katrina, are you talking about that Tasha one? Are you talking about shotgun nose, double barreled shotgun?
Moustache.
We don't really, we don't talk about Mustache.
Moustache.
We're actually talking about a lady called Mary. She was part of the traveling community where she was unalive by a Syrian man that came into this country. And another one there in the paper there that I put up on one of the other pages today. He was only 2 weeks in the country, done for rape before, yeah. And
Well,
again,
very giddy. Did you see the statistics that was put up yesterday
I did.
by Dimple Dempsey?
I did. And the lefties have portrayed that it's mainly Irishmen, but this is an Irish country. And for 475, I don't think one should be done. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there should be 475 rapes happening in this country. Irishmen.
No.
Sorry, guys. I'm
It
getting a
shouldn't be
bleeding
happening.
call
It
here.
shouldn't be
And I don't
happening
know of
at
who.
all. But a lot of these fuckers are being let go out of court because they didn't know it wasn't like part of Western culture. They're going right now with their culture because they fucking done it.
Yeah. So I
All the
heard Tia
passions
saying
they
there
that
that the travelers are being treated the same as Roma gypsies.
Natasha was one of the weekly mascots. Sorry, Mousy. Natasha was one of the weekly mascots for the left. Like yeah, man, like the Brazilian fella.
Is that the Natasha one that's
Can you
getting everybody sacked from their jobs?
Can you still hear what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah? Guys, can you hear me still?
Yeah.
No, just because I got a phone call there. And Tia, don't worry about it. This just happens all the time. Mouse will put the link back in if you want to come back up.
Yeah. It happens for your first few times. Now you're trying to suss out, do I press this, do I press that, and then you're getting kicked out. Now.
Yeah, look, an African fella exposed himself earlier up on Leopardstown, was staying down at the Ballyogan Bypass Centre.
What was that with the Ballyogan Centre? What was that about? Say that again.
There, it's in the comments. Fifth one up.
What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? And again, in the Clondalkin, there was a young girl, believably, I haven't got the full information on it, so I'm not going to say it's definite 100% on that like that. But 2 migrants were caught bringing her behind the laurels. Garda were involved, but I've asked people that work in the area to kind of keep it on the QT as to what happened. Them people that were responsible have been moved out of the Clondalkin area. So what were their intentions with a 12-year-old child?
Nobody
That's
cares.
what I want to know.
Why is the guy trying to hide it? It shouldn't be hidden.
What I wondered. Yeah,
that should be front page news.
Does anybody know who them 2 people were that turned up at Michelle Keane's house? Does anybody have any information on them who exactly they were? Because it did look like a Garda car. The front of the car, you could sort of see lights in behind the grill. But then again, the 2 people didn't say that they were guards or anything.
She didn't look like a Garda. He might have, but she didn't kind of, did she?
Oh yeah.
She looked more like kind of a hippie.
Reporter, Garda, or lefty. Could be all 3.
It makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? Like what we're being watched by and who's watching in to see what we're saying and doing.
Like they drove into it. She opened the gates and they drove into our garden, and then the gates closed behind them. Do you know what I mean? So she walked out to them. We're just wondering who the fuck, who were he?
And they should be getting done for trespassing, like the rest of the people are getting done for trespassing.
And guys, can I just ask you all something here, but these are
That's
all in the
true.
comments as well. Could you just pass this out to one friend at least each, yeah, and try getting more people into the comments, up on stage if they like, and just to, get this spread out a bit more, because we want this Trigger podcast to get out a bit more. We're being seen on Google at the moment, and for talking outside the lines of mainstream media. So we're telling the real stories of what's happening across the country. And we're doing it without any violence. We're doing it without any threat to anybody. And obviously, the government are starting to poke up a bit and realise what we're talking about. So if you can give us any help and pass this out to any of your friends or get anybody in, please do. Sorry to interrupt you, lads. Just have to put that out there.
So we're talking about Ballyogan, just for I see Lockley has another comment in there. It says it all true that Nigerian migrant who had a previous great charge in Italy who got unalived near Grafton Street. That
That's
fella,
right.
yeah.
He was in Ballyogan as well, yeah.
And then, do you remember when we were up there at that time? It's only that I was talking to one of my subscribers. She met me down in City West, and she said to me, she reminded me about him. And I says, Jez, I do remember that fella, yeah. And she says, what's the story about him? And I says, I think he's a PDF from America, because he's American and he's in that Ballyogan Centre. And I'm thinking, why is he the only American in there? And by
Sorry,
looking at it,
Katrina,
Could be a
if you
reporter.
go,
Could be an undercover reporter.
sorry guys, can I just answer
it's very
Katrina there?
go on.
Katrina, if you go to the main page, and anybody that wants to know how to share this, you can share it on the actual main page to either, whether it be WhatsApp, or it can be to your Facebook, or it can be to anything you want. Just, you can share it out on Messenger and so on. And it'd be just nice to see people come in,
Maybe
different faces, and getting it spread out. You all right, Kathleen? How are you? But yeah, that's all you do. You go to the main page, Katrina, and you press share, and then it gives you the option for WhatsApp, Facebook, and etc. I usually share it over onto X. I share it onto Instagram, Facebook, and we are looking to do all 5 platforms at one stage in the future. We still are going ahead with Inside Ireland now. News coming shortly. We're just working very hard on the background of it.
And we even have a bunch of arch enemy lefties.
That's it.
Bull pirates of the lefty scene.
Do you know, man, I was in the comments the other day and I said something to what's her name, Dee Dee. And she says, who are even you? Who is you? And I says, she doesn't even know who I am. Happy fucking. I says, that suits me down the ground a lot, but she don't even know who I am. She does know who I am. I'm sure she does. But she said, no, who the hell are you? And I said, that suits me. She doesn't know me. And she won't go after me. She won't go after me. She's going after all you. She knows who you are.
Oh, yeah,
No worries, Katrina. It takes a little bit of getting
bald boo.
a little bit tricky. And
I try to stay away from all that fucking drama, man. Jeez, it does my head in. Especially that A fella. He's like
Oh, yeah, I'm actually thinking about coming off TikTok now.
He's like a wound up rabbit, isn't he? He's like he has the
are you
fucking
really
energy
going
of
to
the
go off
rabbit.
TikTok because of them?
But you know what? It's getting like there's a lot from that side over here that's starting to get very childish. Do you know what I mean? So they're idiots. You're arguing with idiots.
So what would you do? Would you stay over this side and do this on a daily?
No. Go on here on the weekly though.
Yeah, but we're eventually going to be start doing it on a daily. We're going to bring the news. You what?
Yeah, we'll do that then.
Yeah, it's like
The other day, talking about what's happening in Ireland that day.
in other words, what we're going to do is
TikTok is fucking toxic, man. Like it's draining.
No, what we're going to do is, to give everybody an outlook of what we're going to be trying to do is, we're going to contradict the mainstream media for the purposes of the news that they're putting out, that it's false, yeah? And we're going to look at the actual real picture of what happened on that day with people around this country, yeah? And we're going to slightly investigate it a little bit more and get more information on it and give you the real, true meaning of what actually happened and what the government don't want you to know. It will be very controversial, and I'm sure that we'll get many government members probably get contacting us, telling us we shouldn't be saying that. But we don't care. We're not out for that. We're out for you and your family and Ireland to be safe.
This is going to be on. This is going to be on a third channel, folks. It's called Inside Ireland. Been set up a couple of weeks ago, but we haven't.
It's very complicated to do. It's not so easy to get it all up and running. A lot of people think that it might be easy, just turn on your channel and start doing it. But we're actually going to be reading news on a daily basis from it. So again, everybody's welcome to come in. We wouldn't be really bringing anybody up onto the stage unless it's people who would be in the news or something to do with what's happening in Ireland. Paul Murphy, Rent Boy, and Krusty Crackhead. Yeah, they're correct about that. You get 100 points.
I was seeing him on the news earlier on. He was talking to somebody on the news. I wasn't even listening to him, man. I just said, "Oh, look at that fucking crowd show you, man."
Aaron, please God, before we hit winter, hopefully we'll be up and running. But what we're going to start off with is we're going to try doing the 5 platforms right across. So we're going to do Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube at the protest at the same time. So we're going to try putting a live recording so everybody has an option to go whatever platform they want to go on. That's what we're going to start off doing. And then when we have the Inside Ireland, we're then going to look at the situation of what's happening in Ireland. We're going to pick certain articles out about, it might be migration, it might be homelessness, it might be something to do with the hospital, it might be something to do with finances, it could be to do with welfare changes, it could be to do with tax changes, it could be to do with anything. Whatever what that situation is, we're going to look into it a little bit more. We're going to jump down that rabbit hole, and we're going to bring you the real information as to why and what that means in uncrypted fucking version of government version, propaganda TV version. We're going to give you in layman's terms what that means for you and your family. Sorry for overtaking.
It's going to take a bit of work, but once it's up and running, now it should be a breeze every day. A video popped up me created, and it was from 10 years ago, and it was Murphy yapping on about Gaza and who's changed and what's changed.
Nothing has changed. If anything, Gaza is getting smaller, to be fair, right?
Did you all get their phones back, did they?
Well, no, you see that thing, Jesus Christ, Mousy, this is what happened as well. Somebody's saying about getting their phones back, right? So let me tell you a little story, yeah? That gobshite Paul Murphy turned around and said, in the interview, he said, I rang my missus, yeah, his wife, to tell her that he's safe and he's coming home, yeah?
Yeah.
And literally, he was saying that he was going to make his way to the police station to pick up his phone. So how the fuck did he ring his wife before he got his phone from the cop shop? And the other thing is, just to bear in mind, right, he said he got on the bus, right? When they asked him to get on the bus, he got on the bus. So the little coward got on the bus, looked out the window and watched the other people getting kicked the fuck by the police that weren't getting on the bus. So he's a dirty little rent boy. He's a little, I can't stand him. He's a baldy cunt, yeah? Doesn't know even the sex of his own fucking child. The guy absolutely torments my brain. I can't stand him. I wish that the Egyptian authorities had taken him away and arrested him for something else and hung him or something like that. Came back in a body bag.
I think the Egyptian government was a little bit too hard on them. They should have opened the border and let them walk into Gaza. I really believe they should have let them. They should have let them go in and let them protest against the Israelis and throw a stone at the Israelis.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm all for them going there. I've been saying it all along. If you want to help them, go over and help them. But I didn't think a bunch of them actually would have.
Especially Murphy.
We start saying to them, like, you're not going to help them here. Like, if you're going to help them, go over and help them. Like, go over to fucking the Gaza, go over and fucking help them over there. But seriously, man, fucking heaping them up on a fucking boat went over.
Katrina,
there's no point
thank
in
you very
waving the flag around the city here. It's not making no difference.
Sorry, guys. Katrina, thanks very much for the donation. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Katrina.
Thanks, Katrina.
Murphy is a muppet. He is a muppet.
Murphy is
A
a
real
fucking
life one.
skill.
A fucking real life one.
I would actually get satisfaction at putting him
Yeah, we
down a
want
lane
to.
like, and throwing spanners at him or something like that. I'd get
Nothing
satisfaction out
goes
of it.
in or out of that Egyptian border. Nothing. But they should
He's
have
like an
that day.
albino came with the frog.
You're right, 12. There is nothing that they didn't do anything for the country. And I want to know still, how was that funded? If that was funded by the government, I want that money back off him. You know, he had no right. He wasn't going there for diplomatic anything, yeah, or to solve anything. And he didn't solve anything. So if he got that paid for, funded by the government, that needs to go back into the purse out of his pocket.
Yeah.
Nice
And they
holiday for
gave
them all.
him wasn't it crazy? Like you had Harris and all and fucking Martin and all saying he supported the Palestinians. You know, they expelled the Israeli ambassador. And then they stood in the door and said that about they see the way that they're all backbiting each other.
Oh, yeah. It's like now they're going to want Israel back on board, yeah.
No, but Trump said it right the other day. He says they're fighting so long over there, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just literally throwing back and forth.
Wolfie is a walking bell end. You get 100 points too, Robert.
Ding, ding,
So,
ding.
yeah, Trump, I love the fact that he's trying to stop them from putting the hate speech laws in Ireland as well from the EU. They have to think twice about these tariffs now, and you have them visa checks and everything. They're going to have to think 100 times before they even dare try putting any of them fucking speeches in here, that hate speech shit.
Now, hate speech, remember, there's a religious ground in this country, and the hate speech could well bring in Sharia because it is hate speech. That's their own kind of hate speech, which is everything a woman does. Everything a woman does. All your
As we were
rights.
told,
You like your fashion, if you
we
walk
were
around
told
in
there a couple of
fucking
weeks
clothes.
ago that halal meat is coming to all the schools in Ireland. So all your kids be eating halal meat.
I was actually talking to the principal about that in the Youngford school, and he said, no way, not a chance. Not going to
I
happen.
know, but
But then again,
it's probably
They
he's very,
say that.
yeah, it's not
No,
no
no.
chance
Say
now,
that.
Gilly.
When you actually go up with the evidence, they go, "Oh, you have to take a group of the Board of Education." Don't be saying it to us.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll put it this way, yeah. Nobody should be buying Brennan's bread because it's halal. You should stop buying the Brennan's bread, and if you don't like the fact that
No,
it's
well, look
halal,
at Brennan's bread. No, Brennan's bread is like they put a halal sticker on it. It's just the way it's made. Do you know what I mean? It's halal approved. I want the
yeah,
halal sticker taken off the Brennan's bread. Fucking
yeah, me too. I don't want. I won't buy the bread. I'll buy any other person's bread, but I won't buy their bread because of them putting halal on it. I think it's
Get our
cruel
own
what they
lunches.
do.
That's it, Davina, yeah, 100% make our own lunches, but watch out what you're buying in the shop.
Yeah, exactly. So don't put bacon in halal fridges. It's very rude. Especially open packets. That's even worse. All that meat would go to waste.
Sure, man, I did be sometimes in the shop, walking around the shop, and I know where the sausages and all that kind of, and the bacon and all this, but usually just walk over to a Muslim man, they say, with somebody that's working there. Sorry, do you know where the bacon and sausages are? And he has to show me. Oh, there it is over there. Oh, thanks. Oh, yeah, thanks very much. Yeah.
Can you grab a few of them sausages out for me there?
Yeah.
I don't want to get me hands cold. Brennan's bread, not today, definitely not tomorrow. Yeah, you could say that. We've seen that, Katrina. Thank you very much.
Fair play, Katrina.
Thanks for the donation. Guys, buy me a coffee. If you just want to put £1 in, want to put 100 in, want to put 1,000 in, go for it by all means. Any pennies are welcome.
Put 1,000 in, Giddy just vanishes off the yoke.
Don't sing for weeks, crazy.
I was only having a little drink. But you wouldn't have anybody in the comments if I got 1,000 either, because if you're just saying, come on, beers are on me.
Crazy on me, huh?
No. Any money
You know,
that goes in, it goes
see
to
TV News, and it was in the newspaper that Morgan's working in Britain and selling drugs too. Yeah, Chris, I seen him there. We were talking to them. That's who we were talking to, Giddy, was it? GB News.
GB
I think
News,
we
yeah.
talking to. Is that who we were talking to, yeah?
Yeah, GB News and Rebel.
Rebel, that's who it was. Rebel News, isn't it? We were talking to.
Giddy be gone to Gaza. Yeah, I go to Gaza, happily live there and protect myself and say all the gays are coming from me from Ireland. I'd actually love to actually go to Gaza and point out and show all the Hamas people that these are all gay people. They all wear gay flags. They all believe in bumming each other. I wonder what Hamas would do to them.
Oh, you
But
just send them over.
Do you think they're sending a lot of them kind of sort of men over this direction from their countries?
Well,
these
look at isn't that been sussed out there the other day that Iran is at to be putting sleeper cells all over the place? Now,
That's
look,
right, yeah.
they're probably here fucking years. The same with the Russians that have their own, the French that have their own.
See
You know,
there. Sorry, see that there.
allegedly got loads of them in America.
Squandering our own national resources.
Israel,
You read it, yeah?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And they're bringing stuff in from Brazil and meat from Brazil. And like we've got our own good, the best meat in the fucking world.
There you go, Giddy. Sabine is saying that Giddy can wear a Russia outfit over to Gaza. You can get one of those, yeah. Get the whole outfit done with the Russia's printed on it.
Sizzlers. That's it.
Scissors, yeah.
No, seriously, on a serious note, guys, when you go to your local supermarket, please do go to the fridge and put bacon in where you see halal, because we don't want it in our supermarkets. And you're not doing anything wrong by doing it. It's just, if fresh bacon happened to get in on top of that meat, it'll be all thrown out. You know what I mean? Because that's how bad these people are. They'd rather throw all that meat out than give it to a charity. Do you know what I mean? But the way the animals are actually
they're starting to get a backbone now on what they want to. So, like, now is the time to fucking act against them.
Well, if we don't act against them,
when you think about it, all the Irish butchers are starting to close down. Why is that?
All the what?
Irish butchers.
That's correct. And what else is shutting down?
Like the Irish meat, no Irish mate, Irish fucking, you know.
I'm gonna give you.
Like
here's a shocker for everybody listening in on this, yeah, and everybody on the panel here, yeah. So, going back about 6-7 years ago, we had 5,000 odd clubs right across Ireland. Okay, that's including Northern Ireland. Okay, and at the current point in time now, we've got 474 clubs available to us. Yeah, so look at that downfall. The club scene has dramatically, massively dropped.
Massive. From the 90s to now, it's non-existent, you might as well say.
The pubs are shutting down, getting turned into churches. That's it.
They just have to come here and exist now. They just have to come here and exist, and they will outnumber us very fucking soon. And that's when shit will get hectic. That's when the likes of anyone like us speaking out about it. That's when they'll be able to come in their gangs and they can actually literally stop you.
No, I'm going to put it very straight to you, right? I'm going to give you all a small story and a small lesson in the Muslims and their way of living, okay? I lived in the UK for some time. At the time that I was living in there, at the very first time that I was living there, on the streets where I lived, there was loads of English people that lived on them, white English people, okay? Slowly but surely, Muslim families start moving in around the place. And at one stage, a Muslim would go up the street and wouldn't even give you eye contact to be afraid to say boo to you. Yeah. Now, in the exact same street, this was like literally 10 years later. So in a space of 10 years, this whole area, about the size of Tallaght, yeah, was taken over by Muslims, by Pakistanis, yeah, and they were driving up and down their cars, pulling up and taking on young lads that are English white lads, buying the corner shop, selling beer from the corner shop, overtaking the drug scene, everything that you could possibly think, and they've done that in a space of 10 years. Now, bear in mind, at the very first 2 years of them moving into the place, they didn't open their beak to one person, they just kept their mouth shut. 4 years in, they start getting a bit roomy, they thinking that they could say something to you. And then as soon as it came to the 5th and 6th year, they knew they could because they knew they outnumbered you 10-1. So if you let them
Look,
into your area,
we're all fighting now because the next generation is not going to fucking fight. They're going to
Generation
be
Z,
submissive. They're going to be submissive. They're going to have to fucking learn like
they
how
can
to stand
stay.
up. Because at the minute they're not. They're being fucking brainwashed.
Well, hold on, Davina, can I just say something to you? Let them stay out. But what I'd say to you is, if you feel insecure or uncomfortable about these people and in your vicinity, yeah,
Giddy
they
has
live
an
on your
alarm for
street.
you.
Yeah, I've got alarms. I have. But what I'd say to you is, right, really, go down and say, look, I don't want you here. Not going to go and say, I don't really want you on my estate. I don't want your kids growing up my estate, and I don't want you living around here because I don't want this whole area ruined. You know, if you have one or two of them families, get them out of your estate. Get the people to turn on them, and don't let the shops serve them. Do you know what I mean? Regards to the shops that you go getting your shopping in, like Dunn Stores, make sure you see the manager and say, I noticed that you're taking on a lot of foreign people here. If you carry on doing that, I'm not going to shop here. You keep on saying that to the manager, and you get different people to keep on saying it. The more that gets in his head or her head, the more that they won't take these people on because they don't want to ruin their business and stop money coming in. What's this? I
100%.
don't know.
100% agree with you, bro. I don't like some channels using everybody's videos to make themselves famous, not making any videos of their own. Some are walking around protest thinking they will run the country. We were only kind of
Yeah,
talking about that earlier on, Gideon. I don't
I
mention
tell
any
you,
names, but yeah, we were only talking about that earlier on. Like, where has this person came from? Where has that person came from? You know, and they're using, as you say, other people's content. Now they're getting out there and we're not with some names, man, you've never even heard of before. Now making
and
lives and TikTok and stuff like that.
it's like myself, Boots, and Mousy are fully fucking. How can I put it? We're like veterans at the moment of this because we've been doing it from get go, day one. Yeah, and with the help of South Dublin Says No, we have done it. They don't ask for recognition. South Dublin Says No,
Oh,
but
but
they
fair
should get
play
it.
to them.
Yeah,
Say myself.
you wouldn't know
You
any
do
of
a
this
lot.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't know any of this shit without South Dublin Says No. So they do deserve the gratitude. Do you know what I mean? But
100%,
yeah,
yeah,
they've been
definitely.
alongside of them, and we've been at the protest with them, and good bunch of lads. You know what I mean? But we've documented real stuff, and people have took our stuff and put it up on different pages and made it theirs. Do you know what I mean? For what likes, I don't know. You know what I mean? But that's what it seems to be.
A lot of people there you do see online and they are using it. I've seen my videos now on other people's pages and they're getting a million views and stuff like that. And I'm saying, these fuckers are getting more views than me, and this is my content. And
Yeah,
these fuckers are getting paid for it. It's madness. But yeah, whatever. Whatever floats their boat.
and the thing is, when you do actually approach them and you do say it to them, they go, "Oh well, you know, it was just say, yeah, but you didn't put your arse on the line and you didn't get that video footage. I did."
Yeah, I wouldn't
And at
mind the
least you
person
see,
turning around and said, "Look, this is not me. This is whoever Mousy." No, because people are coming to the comments saying, "Fair play to you." No, fair play to him, and he's not saying that back to them saying, "Oh, this is not me. This is somebody else." He's just taking the comments. So you can see it in liking the comment. I'm saying that fucker's taking all the compliments out of my bleeding video.
Sean there saying you should watermark all your videos. Yeah, you can do. That's what you should actually do, Mousy.
Pseudo Mousy, yeah.
I get Boots just to go down and ring
I
the neck.
remember I was doing that at the start. I had a little watermark that I got made up. I remember I got somebody to make it up for me. But I got bored using it, man. I just kind of after a while to stop using it. And you can just easily cut that out. It's not really a watermark. It's more of it's a starter little clip where it just comes up and says Mousy. But they can just cut that out. They can and use the rest of the clip. It's easy copies, man. Be honest, it doesn't bother me.
You should put a
It's not
floating
really.
hologram on your content.
Huh?
A floating hologram.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Robert
wouldn't know
seems
how
to
to do all
believe
that.
that a lot of people are still asleep. Yeah, a lot of people are because they believe in mainstream media.
They knew nothing about it. I was talking to people in American Dublin. Yeah, a lot of people haven't heard about it, man. You know, that people were saying that to me, from my area as well, man. I was saying it. They were saying to me, where are you after this weekend? I was telling them, it's a protest on the Dublin. They were saying, oh, I never heard anything about it. So it wasn't really put out there. There should have been posters made, putting a few poles around areas, wake people up.
Yeah, but what's happening there is the lefties are defacing any posters that go up. So they're wasting money putting them up, and then they're getting defaced because the lefties are going around defacing them. That's how sick and twisted they are. It's like I was saying there before.
But you do get that from
the
both
likes
sides,
of-
man. You know what I mean?
the
Both
likes of
sides
your
do
man-
that kind of thing.
The likes of your man Kieran and Paddy Brew, they're sitting up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning contemplating what they're going to do to take us down off TikTok, to take us down off YouTube. Like how sad can you get? And now they think they're going to take on Conor McGregor. Like, what kind of fucking brain does it take to, they're going to take on Conor McGregor? Like, good luck to that.
Fucking
Yeah, but he's
team
not
is
on
listening
TikTok,
to
is he? He's not on TikTok, so they're not getting a reaction out of him.
No, but they're putting,
Just
they're putting out
putting his
blatantly that
profile
he's a
picture.
rapist when it hasn't been proven properly yet. There's more evidence to go in there. Do you know what I mean? So until it's proven, you can't go around saying that. Do you know what I mean?
So they're making bleeding second profiles of Boots there now. There was 2 Boots in the thing there the other day. I was like, what the hell is going on here? And the Boots just explained it. He said, oh, that's our man. That's copied me profile.
I checked
Be
that out as
evil
well.
and illegal.
Yeah, Boots. Yeah, guys, I checked that out as well. Right,
Well,
so
yeah, I think so,
on
yeah.
social media. So on social media, if anybody uses your profile name, right, and put your picture up, yeah. Now your actual picture, not a cartoon picture, but it's deemed to be you, okay? And they're making things like saying, "I'll fight you," or "I'm coming after you," "I'm gonna kill you," or anything like that. Yeah, that's defamation of character. 110% defamation of character.
I was saying it to
You
you
can
yesterday,
actually
right?
get them done for that. No, I actually checked it out online with a solicitor online. It is actually defamation of character. It doesn't matter if it's on a public platform or not. To take somebody else's identity and use that against anybody is defamation of character. So you can get into serious trouble as well by the police for it as well.
This is what I was
It's like
saying to you.
you,
This is about your man, Father Ted. The fella off TikTok. Father Ted.
did Paul Nolan get the boot off YouTube?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
so.
too sure.
Yeah, he did.
I don't, is he not back
Yeah.
on again? No,
And then he got kicked off again, I think.
he's back on TikTok and anyway. Paul is, and I think he's on X as well. So
He's on X as well, yeah.
yeah, if you wanted to catch up with him, you could. Kieran is toxic. Well, the funny thing is about Kieran. Wait until you get this reaction. Here's one for you. Here's a reaction that you're not going to believe. Wait to hear what Boots does here now. What was the name of that area again, Mousy, that I was asking you where it is?
Still there?
Can you remember? No. Remember I was asking you where it is? You don't know
This
what I'm
last
talking
week,
about.
or it was? This last week?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember some name you were saying to me, yeah.
the North.
The other day. Yeah.
Boots, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The North. Do you know the North Avenue?
yeah.
That's where Kieran's from.
Here's one now.
Yeah. But how do you know this?
Isn't that funny? No,
That's
it's just
very,
that.
very funny.
It's only if you knew like who actually does live down there. Yeah, and his name is Campbell, by the way. So Kieran Campbell is his name.
You're on Campbell.
Yep. I've never heard that name personally down there before, but I'm sure that I have family members in Inchicore and in around that area that would know who
So he
Kieran
said to me,
Campbell
Bruce,
is.
he said to me, Bruce, he says PM, he says private message me. So a private message said, what's the story? And then he just blocked me. So what's that all about? Was that
He
Kieran,
blocked
lad?
me. He blocked my page one night, and I went in on another one. I says, "Don't forget this." Then I went to the third one, went into and this one too. So he blocked the fucking three of them, and then I noticed him popping up. Then
Yeah, he's been popping up around all different lives and all, going in and trying to get. Well,
but
he's
this
admitting
is
that
the
he's
thing.
already.
I have not heard from like Paddy Brew. I think one or two words I exchanged with that chap. Kieran, I don't think I've heard from him in a long time.
No, Davina, this is a different Kieran, not the Kieran you do see on YouTube. This is a Kieran that's be on TikTok. And he's out saying that he wants to get everybody's profiles blocked, taken down. Giddies,
Especially if
Dukes,
you're
myself.
anything to do with so-called far right or you're anything to do with national protest. This guy thinks that he's a white Irish guy that grew up in Inchicore, yeah, and literally he thinks that we should integrate with these migrants coming in and not be so rude as to ask them to leave or re-migration or like that. So the argument
Sorry, Jerry.
is that he's going reporting all our lives and like the likes of YouTube, TikTok, and everything else. And now he's thinking that he's going after Conor McGregor because he supports so-called far right of this country. He's going after the National Party. He's going after Island First. He's going after all these fucking big places. One-man army on his own with Paddy Brew. That's a fucking pillow eater. Yeah.
Paddy
Um,
wants a bit of Kieran's rear end.
possibility. And the funny thing is about it, is also Angelo Akin. Yeah, he is also part of this little crew. And I wouldn't be surprised if the usual suspects like DD, Cannon, all them, Simple D are all involved in the background. So they're going in and they're actually trying to report people's lives and they're trying to take them down. So no more can be said about online about people going protesting.
Like Didi, but change the whole name to Wanda.
I seen what's his name, Emilio Maez's picture.
I know, Lord Farquaad.
Is he a bloke that wants to be a board, or is he a board that wants to be a bloke?
The fucking alien that wants to be a human.
He's a fucking bloke.
So he's a bloke that wants to be a board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was all confused the other day when he was saying I'm a female. I said, was he a female or I hadn't a fucking man. Those bleeding trans man confused me. So as I said before, man, my cousin's child was trans. She was born a girl. Then her friend turned into a boy, so she went into a boy. And then her friend turned back into a girl about 2 years later. So she turned into a girl. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Strange. Dirty little scum, aren't they? Little slippery, slimy slopes. Yeah. 100%. Story mousey, story panel. Chat was over. Lady Bear, live. Oh, Lady Bear's live now. I was thinking somebody else must be live because it seemed there wasn't many people coming in. Mike Tyson. So there's that comment. Mike Tyson's wannabe. Yeah. That fella is Kieran, 100%. He's an instigator. He's a troublemaker. Not because I called him a lefty. I called him a lefty on the live, man. He kicked me out of the live. And he kicked me out of the live. I went back into the comments and he says, Mousy, post message me. So I was just a fucking private message me, whatever the fuck it is. So I just played and text him and says, what's the story? And then he just blocked me. And ever since then, I go into the lawyers, he just instantly blocks me. As soon as he sees my name pop up, there's that fucking fair right scumbag. Block. She was live outside Rochtown Lodge beside the Noggin. Oh, what's happening out there? I didn't hear anything about this now. About a protest out there, Rochtown. Did you hear about that, Gilly, now? You still there? She was like, must have been a protest. There's a few protests I was on tonight. There was one in Blessington. The Avon. Is it the Avon? Yeah. Hotel. Oh, wake up there. All right. Oh, that's too much for a little mouse. It is, Robert, yeah. And I'll meet my plan, Robert, now was going to town tomorrow and to meet somebody at 1 o'clock. I'm going to head over to John Joyce at the Joyce house and talk to a few homeless people, ask them about the situation. So she's trying to get me in there. I think a few people know me down there. Miss Pagina said it was wrong, Kieran Campbell. Yeah, I think there's a bit of confusion, Katrina. There's a different Kieran used to come into this live. We haven't seen him in a while. We used to come into this live, and I think she's talking about him. There's two Kierans. There's a TikToker and there's a YouTuber. You still there, did he? You fell asleep, did you?
He's gone.
Did he? She went to the Jacks, is he? Close the bathroom door, man. We can already hear you.
Viewers are dropping like flies.
Where's he gone to? He must be putting you on for the bed, is he? He gone, Giddy? Yeah, he must be on the phone. He's on the phone, he's putting you on for the bed. Halfway.
They're on the summer holidays today, only the primary schools.
Eddie, yeah?
Yeah, so that's another thing people want to keep an eye out for, that the local schools don't get used as iPass centres over the summertime.
Was it telling you about that? I was coming back from that protest in Tala last week, whatever it was. And I got back to my place. Don't even want to mention the area, but we got back to my place. I was walking from the hotel there. And there's a fence, a brown fence that goes around. You can't see nothing. And then there's a field there. And then there's Super Value. So I was going to go across the Super Value. So I got going around the path around that brown fence. The next minute I seen these three lads sitting in the field. I kind of glanced across and I said, they're all bleeding three foreigners and they're drinking there. I looked down where they were kind of pointing. They're pointing down towards the scouts then. And there's kids down there putting up tents and fucking stuff like that. They're out there practicing how to make tents or whatever. And they're just fucking there watching them. And one fellow was on his phone and the way he was sitting, it looked so awkward to me. And I was saying, that is fucking weird. He wasn't pointing the camera at them now. I didn't see him doing any of that kind of stuff. It's just the way he was sitting. He had his phone in his hand.
Yeah, seeing you coming forward, that's what it was. Seeing it, they hiding it. Eventually, what?
Yeah. And so have a girl from the area now.
Was there a fella got there the other day? He was fucking like pictures of the kids on his phone, and he got fucking bit.
That's right. Yeah, I only heard about this, man. I didn't hear about any about you got bit.
Did you not see the video of it? No.
No, I didn't see the video. I only heard of one of the girls there. She was telling me. She's the last time they looked here.
Yeah,
not the same group. Because they all seem to be hovering around that bleeding scouts then, man. There's a big massive field. It goes on for about half a mile. You can go anywhere there. But now
was that over the same place as that, was it?
Yeah, that's where that's where we seen him before. We went down, we seen two of them there right at the scouts then. We said, get the fuck out of here. And they're like, get the fuck out of here now. So they said, get your cans, get the fuck out of here. You're standing right beside the scouts then, where all the kids are out here. Get the fuck out of the area. And they're like, right, we're going. And they never came back. And then I heard about this, that they got the shit kicked out of them for coming back. Now this could be the same ones, I don't know. I haven't a clue.
Yeah, no, this was a fella the other day. He took his phone off him, and there was pictures of the kids that was playing, and your man got fucking danced on. Fella with a baldy fella, like he fucking, like his head was busted and all it was.
I seen the one at Pierce Street where they keep the shit out of him. Did you see that one?
Yeah, maybe that's the one. Yeah.
And they jocked him. Did you see that?
No, that was on TikTok what I seen it, so that would have been censored.
Well, they jocked him, and he said they were laughing at him, saying, "What can he do with that little yoke? What can he do with that?" And he was just screaming his head off. But yeah, he was supposed to be out there taking photographs as well. So I walked through my own estate one time, and I seen this fella. He was a foreigner, and he was standing down right in the middle of the estate. I've never seen anybody doing this before, not an Irish person in any way, or anybody else. And he was standing there in the middle of the estate, and he was taking photographs of trees that were in the middle of the estate. Do you see the trees out in my estate, Boots? There's nothing that stands out. But this fella was taking photographs of the trees when I was walking by. And I was like, geez, that's fucking odd. So I kept on walking, but looking back. And next minute, he was taking photographs of the grass. I rang me mate and I says, man, when you do us a favour, look out your window and check out this fella here. I says, just keep an eye on him. But I think he disappeared after that. I just kept on looking back at him. You must have noticed.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, they look suspicious. Like, they look like it's not the fact that they look like they're doing fucking something. They are doing something.
Yeah, pointing at the grass then. You know, I seen
time after, like, just because the lefties keep saying it's not happening, like, there's not a lot of people believing that.
Yeah.
You know, they won't actually look at that. Like, you know, there's some people that won't look at them videos. They won't look at them. They just hear it. They'll probably see it and scroll past it real quick. You know, put their own assumption.
Or if they find out it's true, they usually say, oh, he has mental health problems. You know what I mean? It's not his fault.
Fucking is.
What's the story, Finbar?
You see, they know as well now, don't they, that if they can get the mental health thing on them now, they automatically get fucking refugee status. You know, so that's the word of that now is starting to go out. Isn't that why a man stripped off there a couple of weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago, was it? In Balbriggan or something?
I see the lads that are going around to all these tents and they're pulling them out of the tents. They're doing a great job. That's what we were doing as well. And the reason that they're in there, in those tents, and they're not in the iPass centre, is because they've done something wrong. And they've been fucked out at the iPass centre.
You know what, Mousy, if it wasn't for the lads putting their fucking own life at risk to walk in and push them out of them bushes, all them houses there where people are living would notice gangs upon gangs, more building up, like on the fucking street to the point where they're going, right, we're getting the fuck out of here. Can't even sell that gaff.
Yeah.
What I mean, and now if it wasn't for the lads going in and telling them, get the fuck on out of here. You know, like it'd be much worse. Things would be much worse out there.
Like that industrial estate that we were protesting that industrial estate, that house that was across the road, his house is going to be devalued after, you know, they all move in straight across the road in his house.
Well, that's how the cafe is like. So they go into the iPass centre, there'll probably be a street where there's cafes there and people would stop off of them, you know, like in the morning, just get a cup of coffee, whatever, or a sandwich. And people stop going, you know, because that's filling up with migrants. That cafe has to shut down. Then the old fucker Mohammed moves in with the funding of Sharia and buys it up. You know, that's how they do it. They're doing it like slowly but surely. They are fucking doing it.
I was expecting my estate. Remember, I was telling you there was a house 2 doors up for me for sale. And next minute, I seen this Indian family going in and checking it out. And I said, fuck, the next minute, I seen it that it was sold. And I was like, fuck, who would they sell it to? So I was going to my neighbours next door here. And I seen her, the woman next door, that was selling the house. Seen her walking in the garden the same time. Said, "Who'd you sell the house to?" I sold it. She sold it to an Irish person. The next door neighbour's daughter. She actually sold it to her.
Yeah, but
And I
like,
said,
you have to think
"That's
back.
that
You have
dollar."
to think back to the movie Step Brothers when you see when you see the Muslims moving in, walk out to greet them in a fashionable way.
We've had a few around here. A few that's been ignorant. We just one that moved across the road. They were there for about 10 years. One of the kids went down to the 40-foot, jumped off the 40-foot, banged his head and died. So they have a
Fuck.
tree in the front garden with his name and all that kind of stuff, and all these things hanging over that all his friends have put up and all. Yeah, because I went across, I found one of their passports, or I found something like that. It was a passport or a bank card or something that belonged to them. So I went across to them. I think it was some sort of card or something, a driver's license or something. So I went across them and knocked on the door. He just kind of stuck their head out the door and grabbed the card and just closed the door. And I said, "Jesus, what an ignorant bastard." That's what I just thought to myself. I'm at the bringing your card over for you. You wouldn't even say thanks. Just pop their head out, grab the card, and close the door. Ignorant. It's the way I see them. They're not friendly at all. You know, you have a good laugh with your neighbour next door and you have a bit of banter, you know, when he's coming back in out of his car. Whatever. You can't do that with these people. There's no banter with them. You say something to them, you'd be afraid to say something to them. And actually, the guards be knocking on your door for being racist. Jeez, I was only just said hello, you know. That many inns in Cherrywood already. Yeah, I see Cherrywood is getting a lot of apartments popping up. Do you see that, Boots? Now, have you seen that now? Cherrywood
Yeah.
is full of new apartments. And we have loads of space for more.
I'm telling you, Joe, the Dublin divide, you're gonna have Indians on the fucking north side, Pakis on the fucking south side, doing that mad chicken dance in the middle of the bridge.
The Irish in the middle.
You know, we be no more at that fucking stage of the way things are going.
No, well,
Like,
cute
just
house and that
imagine,
now,
just,
so yeah.
just like 100 years, right? Like 100 years ago, the country fought for its independence. And the first time ever, you know, having freedom in part of the country at least. And then within 200 years, it'd be ran by Middle Easterns.
For sure, isn't the word Ireland, isn't that a company? Have you heard that now
Well,
before?
it was called many names like Hibernia, Ireland, like Ireland.
Yeah, but I think the word Ireland is actually the name is a company. No, it's like a British company. It's still like no, we're still kind of British owned. Even the custom
Oh,
house,
yeah.
look at the custom house and that. I
Yeah,
think
if you look into it all right, you should look at it. Whenever England changes its laws, like, lo and behold, it happens here. You know, and then it comes in, like, it might come in straight away, but like, you do know that Ireland is used for testing the laws, like the smoking ban. They brought that out here first.
yeah.
The test of it to see what it was like. And that shut down that shut down a heap of pubs. That was the one thing that shut down a heap of pubs. Then the recession kicked in.
And then the gay marriage. That was first over here, wasn't it?
What was it?
The gay marriages. That was first used over here. It was
Oh,
first
they done
brought in
that
over
here.
here.
I don't know.
I think so, yeah. I'm not sure now, but I think so. Yeah, Casper saying the same thing, yeah, gay marriage as well, yeah. Irish is a testing ground.
It is like, like when you look at it, like how the country's been treated for centuries. How the fuck could the government sit by and think they're doing the country justice and doing what they're doing? Like they're literally dissolving it.
Yeah, they're not giving people a chance. All the security jobs are taken. All the low-paid jobs are taken. There's no opportunities for people coming out of college, young lads coming out of college or young ones coming out of college. There's no opportunities really for them. The only chance we really have is just to immigrate somewhere else.
You know
This
what?
is
If
what you
Collins
want.
hadn't been assassinated all them bleeding years ago, and like De Valera didn't get to where he was, you know, there'd be no Fianna Fáil today. Things might be running a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, if Hitler had got past the English, you never know. You could be out speaking to Deutschland, huh?
Yeah, that's if America didn't get involved, yes,
Yeah.
could we?
Yeah.
That time the Germans though, like Ireland would have been one big fucking gun platform, straight pointed at America.
We all going around with blonde hair, blue eyes, huh? Frankie hasn't came back in since then, you know. We haven't talked about the jail, so Frankie won't come in.
I say he's out there somewhere in cyberspace talking away about them.
I told him, look, if he wants to talk about that, I mean, just make it live. You know what I mean? It's easy. Just make it live up and have a chat about that. I just wanted to talk about what's happening, even though he says that is affecting your country. You know, I get all that. I mean, I do get it all. I mean, it's all coming from Israel and stuff like that. I know it's all that shit.
Well, I've said the same thing myself. Like, it's what's going on over there. Do you want those dragged into it? You know, scatter the Irish out, take over Ireland. This is how they done it. This is how the Israelis actually done it in Palestine. You know, they went there to settlers, got into everywhere, pushed out the locals, and now they're doing the same. You know, with Islam.
Man, we had a fella on TikTok there about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Came in and he was the opposite from Frankie. Now, whatever Frankie was saying, this fella was the opposite. This fella loved the Jews. Frankie hated them. And didn't believe any of this, but the other fella believed everything. He said, I'll prove it to you. Where Frankie would have proof the other way. So which one's lying? And I was saying, are you related to Frankie? I was saying to him. He's like, who's Frankie? So I mean, I was just trying to get a reaction out of him because he fucking sounded like Frankie. He was the opposite from Frankie, saying the opposite stuff. He didn't like Hitler. Frankie would like Hitler. I don't know. He was mad. I'm telling you now, where he was the opposite from Frankie, saying the opposite stuff. Him and Frankie would have had a great debate. It would have been going on for about 10 hours. Because your man wouldn't stop talking either. That way Frankie just talks and just keeps on talking. This fella was exactly the same. Everybody was trying to butt in, but he just kept on talking. And he's saying, I've got proof of this, I've got proof of that. And I was just saying, I was just thinking to myself during that live, I was saying, if only Frankie was here, Frankie would hop all over him there. Frankie, yeah, definitely related to Frankie. Like they're the opposites.
Yeah, live Giddy.
Giddy, you there? Giddy all about Ireland. Giddy all about going to sleep. He's had to down a few sleeping tablets, didn't he? I was seeing Noel McConnell there did you see him the other day? Boot.
We're at the protest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Anthony Casey. What's his name? Anthony, I was up here.
Yeah, Andy Casey, yeah.
Anthony Casey, yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing your man there, and I seen somebody went over to your man Noel McConnell. There was a fella standing right in front of him, and he was fixing the microphone on his collar, onto Noel McConnell's collar. And, he was just trying to sort it out. Next minute, this fella came across that must know Noel McConnell, scribe or whatever the fuck he is. Just watch him. Came across. I said, I want to shake your hand. Noel McConnell goes, wait, I'm trying to sort this out. That's the way he said it to him. And your man just walked off. I wouldn't blame him. I would have walked off the way he spoke to me as well.
Well, walk up saying I want to shake your hand and tell him to fucking wait. No, sorry, you haven't got that celebrity status with me. You had me respect
Yeah.
up until that.
Yeah, it's just the way he said it to him, the way you reacted to him was just what a fucking
That's
prick.
what people need to understand. It's respect you want, not celebrity status.
Yeah.
Because then that's only self. That's when they end up fucking doing it by themselves.
Well, you can see a lot of people are doing it for themselves, man. You see a lot of new faces as well out there with microphones. Sure, I seen a fella down Cork, and there was a fella walking around with him, an oldish man walking around with him with an umbrella over his head. And this fella was going around with the mic, talking into the mic with the camera pointing on his face. And I says, Jason, I never even heard of this fella either. These are all new, you know. When we first started doing this, man, there was probably about 60 people that were protesting. And now, like, massive numbers, new people popping up every day that are highlighting the protests. Never even heard of them. Would they be going along and they're saying to me, oh, what John? Remember there was two women out there. Shoulder to shoulder was one of them. And there was some other woman off TikTok. She was at the protest and she said, oh, what's your names and all? And I said, Mousy. She goes, oh, yeah, I follow you. I said, oh, nice one, yeah. And I was just thinking to myself, like, no, these are, I wouldn't even know any of these. Never seen them at the other Tara protest when that was going on. But that went on for fucking months. Never seen
So
these
what's
faces.
going on, guys? What are we talking about?
Who woke you up?
No, I was up doing something. I was actually, Tia has fucking Mr. T cornered on her life.
I'll be mine, Mr. T in his life.
No, like Tia has him cornered, and there's about 3 or 4 girls around him, and they're all giving him absolute abuse.
I know, but it is a constant battle, man. And as I said to you, it's a distraction to what's really going on in the country. All these people on TikTok, they're a total distraction. You know, people go on. Well, I get why people are getting mostly involved. But sure, your man told me the other day that he was riding my dead dad. That's fucking. I mean, I usually lose to Bladen Pot, man, but I'm saying I'm not going to give them any ammunition. I'm not even going to react to what he said.
That's what I'm starting to realise lately. Like, the people we're arguing with are complete fucking retards. Like,
Yeah,
they're
they're looking into
stupid.
it. But he must know that he's obviously gone. All that kind of stuff. And they'll go and say that. And it was only his anniversary the other day when he kind of said this to me. And I said, does he fucking know? Has he been checking my profile? But there's nothing else they have on me other than that. They can use that against me kind of thing. But I'm not even going to react to them. I'm not even going to say it. I never even said it back in the comments to them.
Yeah, just things like that. You kind of keep people's people that passed away. You just keep them out of your mouth, don't you? Really, you don't go around.
You definitely don't debt mock, man. You know what I mean? That's a horrible thing.
No,
definitely don't debt mock.
No,
I'd never use that against somebody.
Mr. T is trying to plead himself that he's Irish. He's trying to tell everybody he's Irish.
Mr. T?
Yeah.
He's gone back around that triangle again, is he?
Yeah.
He won't bring me up on his live. He goes, I don't want to bring Irish boots up, because all he says is, Mr. T, why are you gay?
Sure. Do you know what happened? He was on a live day the other day and he was asking everybody, have you ever been, he had somebody called Irish Boy, do you know him? And he's been convicted before and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Mr. T got all that in his head then, convicted, no being in prison and stuff like that. So he started asking me a few questions. And the next minute he turns down to somebody, another traveller girl, I don't know, just be fighting with Tia. Don't know what her name is. And said to her, have you ever been in prison? She goes, what sort of question is that to ask somebody? Have you ever been in prison? And then she turned around and somebody turned around then to Mr. T. Mr. T, have you ever been in trouble? And Mr. T goes, well, everybody's been in trouble, you know. And she goes, in what kind of way? Well, you know, people do be in trouble sometimes. Remember you were telling me stuff about him. I don't know how true that is, but, you know, this is what he wasn't mentioning any of that, but he was saying he was in trouble. Yes, I've been in trouble before. So I don't know what he was talking about, Mr. T. I wouldn't trust them to affairs I throw, man. They're all sleepy and we tend to friend you, man. Oh yeah, come on into my life. Oh yeah, you're my best friend. Oh, you're my girlfriend and stuff like that. He did be saying to some of the women. And he's playing people. People get in there and then he's recording your voices now. Whatever you're saying, he's recording it and he's playing it back on live, and he's letting other people react to it. He
420
knows.
odd put there in the comments. Undercover actors are at play. Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing. You know, they spit venom from their mouths and the hope of, I'm home. Yeah, definitely.
Got you, no, they don't ever get it. Got you moment, Jerry. Like anything that they talk about is bullshit. They've got a record there saying that I bombed the fucking iPad centre. Like, I'd love to see him with myself getting over the 7-foot fucking wall. I'd have trouble getting over the 3-foot wall, let alone the 7-foot wall.
That's the story. 420. Are you going down to Drogheda Sunday? I don't know what to do myself, man. What to do? How much the train down there and back?
20 quid return.
20 return.
I think it's 20 return, yeah.
From Houston, is it?
No, Conley.
Only. Jeez, man. That last time, man, I went to that protest down in Limerick. Like, people only see it when you go live. People only see it live. You don't understand the stuff you go through to get there. It was a nightmare. Yeah. I opened my front door, it was buckling down. I remember you had my umbrella boots at the time.
Yeah, did you give that umbrella away the other day?
I just fucked it against the wall. It was falling apart.
The iPad centre in Newmount Kennedy resembles an RUC barracks. Have a look at the SOYAC building. It's very close to it. You have concrete blocks and everything outside. And about 20 cameras looking at you. And that's in the middle of a housing estate in Dublin.
Where is that?
Newmount, they're talking about Newmount Kennedy there, but I'm talking about the SOYAC building, the way it looks now from where it was.
Yeah.
It does, luckily, yeah, it does resemble you see Radix, yeah, 100%.
What do you expect to get help out the Garda? And it's the RUC fucking head of the RUC that was there.
So does the SOYAC building. That looks very barrack looking, doesn't it, as well? Because it's from the same people, David Mooney.
They got anti-vandal paint on the wall. They have fucking anti-flammable paint on the wall. They have cameras going right across it. Steel gates, big bolt on it. Big fucking concrete blocks outside that needs to be built by machinery. For what reason, I don't know. Because they're used for, like an IED or something like that. But it makes you think as well, what did he have them there for if there's IEDs that they're worried about? Because that's certainly not a big car coming in.
They're ramming blocks. They're ramming blocks to stop a fucking tank.
That's what making me wonder what the fuck are you doing there? Dave Mooney profits for
because I think the reason the ones at SOYAC are there is because they got a whiff that there was a busload of people coming, of young lads coming from Ballyfermot to smash those gates down that night. And we turned up that night. Then after that was supposedly the rumour going around that they were coming. There was all those cavalry blocks there. And then that night, the same night, the what's called the riots happening in town.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You know what I mean? Dave Mooney getting all this money to shit on his own people. He won't be forgotten for it. Fucking bunker. Yeah, it could be, Caspar, you could be right. They could be building bunkers in there, probably not.
He's got a few places locally, yeah. He's definitely making money from both those two places and a few more. Definitely.
Crooklyn.
I think Crookston is another one, yeah.
And it's like he has security all the way around everywhere. He mentioned you in a call, didn't he?
Mentioned me in the call, yeah, David Mooney. And that was in a private call. So that was a call that he wanted that person at the very end to delete this. He said, delete this phone call. But then it just got leaked, whatever happened. End up online. I never even knew David Mooney knew who I was.
Dave Mooney from Borisall in Tipperary, but floods the South Dublin and North Wicklow in particular.
He's from, I know he has a house in Loughlinstown.
To be fair, friends of us are the ones who actually exposed him. That South Dublin said no. They exposed him, who he was.
Yeah. 100%, yeah, it wasn't me.
Bunkers and tunnels. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
All them cameras have only one cable supplied. That's what happened down in Newtown Mount Kennedy. Wasn't it Newtown? I think it was Newtown Mount Kennedy. They cut the cables, didn't they? I mean, man supply. There was only one cable going into the shed.
Well, in the SOYAC, what you're saying there about the supply and everything else, in the SOYAC, they had got cameras up at the first time, but they all got whipped down. They all got smashed and wrecked. Yeah. Then they put these other cameras up that are up about probably, say, about 15 feet in the air, probably a bit more, where they're on a pole that you can't get them. Do you know what I mean? You could even
all kind of pointing at each other. So there's a lot more
without being seen. And then you have the private guard there, the private security for the government, protecting them all. There's tunnels in the
Robert, there. Because the SOYAC building is being used for all the. Have you seen all the boxes over there, Giddy?
Yeah.
When we sent the drone across, that whole site is full of those boxes.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And they're full of tents. Those tents, those big, huge marquee tents. That's what's inside those boxes. And Mooney's using the SOYAC building to store all that in the SOYAC. They can do whatever they want, man, behind our backs now. They're behind those fences there now. They can do whatever they want.
Finbar, that tunnels, there's loads of tunnels under Guinness's because they used to bring it in on the, they used to have like a railway track that used to go under Guinness's and all the way up around Thomas Street and all that. So them tunnels have been there for some serious amount of time. Remember when the road fell in the top of, Jesus, what was it? On the way down into town there. Outside the fucking, where the fuck is it again? The road fell in, and anyway, put it this way, and there's an underground fucking, like a big car park underground in Dublin city centre. There's an old city under Dublin city.
Yeah, it's the same as Scotland, isn't it? Scotland have the same thing, haven't they? They have a city
Manchester
under
has the same thing.
Yeah. The old sewer system and all be there as well. The way they would have.
Yeah, that's right. Guinness has bought it for fucking, I think, 100 quid or something like that. They bought it for back then, and now it's worth fucking billions. Bridge Hall and Ballybrack Village got stopped, but was heavily shown up because about security recruits from SBG Gym.
Same in England.
Yeah, there's something going on. Like we can see what we can see from the outside, but it's ever what's going on in the inside. These men are not single men in these places for nothing.
But it showed at the SOYAC building, Giddy. It did show at the SOYAC building. Now we were finding used condoms and used needles in the trees of the SOYAC building, and these are all men. I really do think that all these men were brought over, and they like men.
Yeah, well, you see the fresh one that they put up? The boys put it up there on TikTok there the other day. They went back to the same place up beside the Abyss Hotel, and gas bottles, loads of them, in behind the trees, where you go in and out, where the refugees, the migrants are in and out.
They're spreading diseases, man.
I've said it. These boys are battle hardened. So be very careful for fucking booby traps, and they get you have to tell you for that stuck in gas bottles.
No, these are, do you know that gas that fucking the kids are sucking on?
Oh,
Yeah, the ones that they're all dropping from, yeah.
yeah. I thought
Yeah.
I thought you had big stacks of collar gas bottles up behind the fucking tents.
There was a young fella from Tallaght that sucked that, wasn't it? 14 years old. Was found in the park
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
It freezes the lung.
Yeah, we need to like point that out as well, guys. This gas that the kids are all taking, don't be afraid to fucking point it out when you see it, because it's killing kids left, right, and centre. There's a beautiful looking girl down here. She's only like 20 odd years of age. She took that gas and she lost more than 40% of her brain function because of it.
Right, and on that note, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time, gentlemen, please. We've been on for 2 hours now. I got away with half an hour.
Well, I'll be back on tomorrow, and anyway, in the afternoon, be around 1 o'clock-ish, 1:30, I'll be live. James Joyce House. I'll be live, and anyway, I'm going to get off of Stephen's Green. I'm going to walk down that way. I'm going to go live, show you me
And
travel
like I
down.
said, at the
Anyway,
end of every
like
live,
usual.
guys, we have buy me a copy on there. If you just want to donate £1, or £10, or £100, or £1,000, or give us that winning lottery ticket, we don't mind. Yeah, but anything helps. It gets us from A to B, and it gets us to the places where we need to be, where we can bring it to your lives. And I'm going to say on that note, good night.
If you
and
keep on
thanks for
asking,
everybody.
maybe you might find your man that has the 250 million. He might donate to you.
I know, Jesus Christ, that's some amount of fucking winner. I say
Yeah,
fair
so
play,
yeah,
but, you know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
that his uncle.
Imagine that. Wouldn't that be funny?
Right, lads.
Yeah, take care of yourselves, lads.
Be
Take
good.
it easy.
See you all next week. Bye-bye.
Night, night.
Bye-bye.
See you all in the chat. KO, Aaron, Casper, Jerry, Finbar, Lockery, Davina. Take care of yourselves. Did I say, Aaron? Robert, take care of yourself, man. And I'll see you all tomorrow. I'll be live around 1 o'clock. KO, take care of yourself. Pat, take care of yourself. Sean, see you all there. Chucky Erla.
Our day will come.
Our day
Right.
will come. See you
Good
all
night
there.
now.
Yeah, good, yeah. Take care of yourself, yeah.
Good night, Billy Jim Bob.
See you all there.